Good morning. My name is Leanne Stout, and I am here to show you a little bit about CIS leads. Hopefully, you're joining me for excavation and site work. That's the topic we're viewing today, and we're focusing in the territory of Southern New Jersey. So hopefully, we go through it pretty quickly. I'm going to give you just an overview of our site. To see if this makes sense. And if it's something you want to take a look at further, I'm happy to provide you with a demo after the fact. So just to give you some quick background on CIS before we start, we are a local project lead service based here in New Jersey for 32 years, actually over 32 years now. And we're started by a civil engineer who was kind of frustrated by the information out there and kind of felt there's got to be a better way. Let's not only have reporters in the office hunting down the work online, major papers being delivered, but physically have some outside folks hunting it down to make sure we know everything going on. As a company, we cover the state of New Jersey, state of Delaware, southeastern Pennsylvania, New York City, Long Island, and southern New York State. So that's our entire footprint. So we have reporters, like I said, in the street and on the office hunting it down for private and public work. So let's get into it. Just wanted to give you some, excuse me, background on us, and I apologize if I'm coughing because I'm a little congested. So anyway, my desktop is kind of your home screen on our website, and I'll just give you a quick overview of the website. We'll dig into the meat, so to speak. So we do have a daily report. We update our site Monday through Friday, the brand new projects, the updates, the previous day's bid results, pre-planning, planning, and negotiated tabs are private owned projects versus out to bid, and bid results are public owned projects. You can see bid results here even from yesterday. So I'm going to do a more customized report for you, but just to kind of give you an idea of that. We also have a since last view report. If you've missed a day, you're out sick, you can see that. Index report is your filing cabinet of public work. Now I have some customized reports we're going to review in a second. This section here, think of this as Google on our website. You're trying to find one thing fast. So say, for example, someone calls you about a project, you're trying to find it, and it has the word pine in the title. It's going to pull from a 3-year public bidding history, as well as any private work that has the pine in the title. So if I start typing like Pinehurst, this is going to pop to the top, simply just like Google does. So you can quickly find something very fast if you need to. Then this is searching for GCs and subs, because we also have a built-in construction directory, or you can just look at a company in general. Material suppliers, equipment dealers, architects and engineers, owners. So the owner could be the Township of Mantua, or it could be Wawa Dairies, the private owner. Doesn't matter. It's a quick get to. And these are what I call your tracking buckets, which we'll get to shortly. We can track contractors that you bid to and against. You can track projects to make sure you know what's going on. And this is something new we just launched down the bottom, real-time project information, which we're really excited about. So there'll be bid results that are going off this morning, and you will see the bid results coming in like late morning. I actually was on this last week at 11 o'clock, and there was a 10 a.m. demo. We have bid results on here already, which is fantastic. So you can see live information as it's happening on our site. So I've made a couple reports ahead of time, one for public work and one for private work, just to kind of pull stuff that's out currently, because I think sometimes when we're looking at a bulk of information, it's easier to separate the two. So for public work, I just did a keyword report and pulled out a bunch of words that have to do with site work and excavation. I'm pulling 132 projects out for South Jersey right now. So these are projects that are bidding today. So what we want to do is kind of go to the last page, work our way backwards, and kind of see some of the work that's happening. So there's projects bidding as far into January of next year, which is fantastic. You have a lot of time to bid. So if we want to look at this rehab here in Sayreville, this one was just published this week on the 27th. It's bidding on the 1st at 11 o'clock. Middlesex County Utilities Authority is the owner. You have document information, bid meeting, also pre-bid meeting information. Now, if it's a mandatory pre-bid, it'll be in bold writing right here to let you know it's mandatory as well. And then any information about the bid meeting, any requirements associated with the project. Now, this is kind of an update, a description on the project here, so you can kind of see what's involved in the project. And we also list some quantities on here too, so you can kind of see, what structures and what's being taken into account for this project. So that's to give you one example. Here's another one, a replacement Mercer County Bridge in Carter's Road in Hopewell. This one came out for a bid on the 26th. It's bidding on December 14th. So you have roughly 2 months for this one. Again, your owner, contact information. So if it is a road, bridge, utility, or park type project, we list these line item quantities. And our clients really love this because they're able to see how much of their work is on here. Is it profitable? Is it worth any of my time, instead of me wasting a lot of time picking out plans on something a job might not be good and wasting a lot of money. So you can come in here and see exactly how much site clearing, excavations on this project, and grading, and see if this, hey, is this a good job for me? You can kind of scroll through and see the rest. I just did a keyword report, so we're highlighting the words that I believe have to do with site work and excavation. And you can kind of scroll through and see all of it in here. And then there'll be a list of people who have picked up plans who are intending to bid on this project as well. So that kind of gives you a recap. And again, if you're like, oh my God, that's great for me, what was that project called again? We'll scroll back up and let you know it's the Mercer County Bridge project. All right, now hopping on, there's a road improvement. There's another one in Florence, Delran, for a school. Memorial Fieldhouse in Linwood. There's some tennis court reconstruction in Tabernacle. One in Medford Lakes, a road program. Take a peek at this. This one is brand new, just published today. So most of you probably don't know this one. So this might be a good one to look at. And it's got a month again to bid. And Medford Lakes is the owner. And we'll go down here and see the description. So drainage, manhole, sanitary sewer. You can see again, there's a quantity listing. So first of all, when a project comes out to bid, I don't want to state what we do. It normally will come out to bid and look like this, on day one. But because we're doing these live updates, I can already see we've already started to update this because we have a description and quantities on day one, which is really fantastic. So you have a lot of time to decide if this is a good job for you. And that's why there are no plan holders being listed on here, because it just came out today. But you already have the quantities that quickly, which is really, really fantastic. So you can get information very fast with our website. Us being local and having that feet on the street approach really helps. I'm just kind of slowly trying to scroll through so you can see the work that's on here. This might be good for somebody today. Okay. There's some other projects. See what else we have in here. This is going to give you an example, like a building project. This is in Manasquan. This came out on the 27th, earlier this week, bidding on 11:30. Again, ton of time to bid. Let me scroll through here and see what we have. Again, pre-bid meeting in here. This is a single contract. You have a description on the project. So where the road, bridge, utility, and park projects will list the line item quantities, they will be on about 95% of the projects. This description for a building will be more of a long description, but it'll still highlight your words in here, and you can kind of see what what piece of it might be for you, and it'll highlight what part is good. So you can kind of see if this is, again, makes sense for you. And even the owner isn't releasing plan holders on this. We have clients who will add themselves on here. So you can see a couple people have already added themselves as a plan holder on this project, which you can do up here. You can add yourself if the owner isn't releasing. Down in this section here, these are companies you can, if you're a sub or supplier, you can add yourself as interested on a project. So any of the GCs can see that you're interested in bidding on them as well, which is great because you're putting your eyeball right in front of them. Okay, I'm going to hop over to a couple bid results just to show you this, and then we'll get into some private work. So the bid results, this is where I kind of put my money where my mouth is, saying we have next day bid results, because you can see every one of these projects just bid yesterday on Halloween, and we have the bid results here today. Low bidder's name is here, price is over here. If you want to see the full bid result and everyone's numbers and what happened in the bid and the quantities or whatever, you can certainly do that. You can see that 2 people bid it, and there's about $500,000 span between the two. And then if you're like, oh, I want to keep an eye on this company, you can click on them. And this brings you to their company, where I was saying before, you can track companies. Little bullseye up here will allow you to track a company. So it gives you their contact information, and everyone has a free profile page on our website. And then their project information is attached to it, what they're holding plans on, and their bid history over a 3-year period. So I can see what plans they're currently holding at the moment, where they're holding plans. I can click through to look at the job. I can also see a 3-year bidding history. So they've been low bid on 351 projects over the past few years. That they were the low bidder. Most recently, this one last week. And then other bids are projects that they bid, but they were not the low bidder. So they roughly like about I would say 35% or so close ratio, like very, very high. And if you're like, hey, they bid these 3 yesterday and didn't get any of them, you can click on it and say, okay, well, who did get that bid? Oh, that's the one we looked at. Let me try this one at the top, the $80 million one, or 50 million. God, I can't even see. Okay, and this one you can see exactly who bid it. See, this is why I was saying 80 million, because I knew there was 80 in there somewhere. Anyway, so you can kind of scroll through and see everyone's numbers and who bid it. Okay, and so that is our South Jersey report I just pulled for some excavating and site work associated projects. Now, to look at some private projects. So public work is anything local, county, state, federal, any shape or size. Private work is all related around new building construction. So as long as the commercial building is 5,000 square foot and greater, we will have those. Residential, 10 dwelling units or more. And site and excavation is outside the project. So that includes anything happening inside, outside of the project. So pre-planning, planning, and negotiated are our stages for private work. Pre-planning is the earliest stage. It's conceptual, it's sketch plan, zoning, fundraising. Give an example, this one, Delaware Heights in Ewing. So this was published on 10/16. What I always think for private work, this is the name of it, this is the location, there's an attorney listed, there's an owner developer listed, design firm here. Everyone has a click through if you want to look at anything else that they're doing. Typical work included, we can see Siteworks highlighted. And I always think it's a really good idea to kind of look at the description first. You can see it's construction of a 3-story, 8,000 square foot clubhouse building, community facilities. You can kind of look in the history of what else they're doing, parking, lighting, landscaping, associated improvements. So this one's was approved with conditions by the planning board on 10/11. So this just got approval. In this stage, a general contractor is looking at it. So no GC has been awarded yet. So you can track it. You can add yourself as interested to bid it. And you can also, if you go for the low hanging fruit, which a lot of our subs will do, and they'll reach out to, I know this attorney, I know this developer or design firm, and kind of reach in that way, or kind of make some cold calls as well. Here's another one. There's a Lidl grocery store coming up everywhere, all over the place. If you're in South Jersey, you're seeing these pop up. This one was published on 10/3. Demolition of the church on the property for construction of the Lidl grocery store. They're in the process of purchasing the adjacent properties from our acreage, and they're in the design phase. Site work obviously will be included. Design firm, owner, developer, location. Again, track it, add yourself as interested. But the nice thing with us is you will never drive by and be like, where did that building come from? What are they clearing that site for? You would have seen it way in advance. So the next tab over is, and you can see some of the other projects. There's some West Long Branch, Bridgeton, Freehold. There's one in a senior living one in Bridgeton if we want to take a look at that too. You can kind of see the location, and also this is a 3-story living apartment building, 72 units. So you can kind of look and see. The nice thing I love about our site is this one was published back in 2022, but you can kind of look at the entire history and see what's happened up until today, which is great. So a lot of times if you see a very long planning notes, somewhere in there will be litigation. Generally is what I've come to know. And more people add themselves as interested as things progress too. So that's pre-planning. Planning is the final approval before the planning board. Both pre-planning and planning do not have GCs yet. GCs are looking at it. Negotiate is where a GC has been awarded. So just to give you a quick, I'll click on a warehouse because why not? There's nothing but warehouses the last like 4 years happening. So you can again come in here and see the site improvements, stormwater, utility infrastructure related information. This is going before the planning board on 9/11/9, so in about a little over a week, it's getting heard before the planning board. So you can see if that gets approved, why you want to track it. And when you track projects like that, they will show up in your tracked contractors section or tracked projects. I'll show you that it goes in a second. But again, there's a brewery in Medford. Shocking. If any of you are familiar with Medford, this will be the number 4 brewery in Medford. And you can kind of see this just got approved on September 27th, and that's kind of where it lies at the moment. And then negotiated is a private bid result, meaning a GC has been awarded, but it's in any phase of construction. So for example, this one's in progress. But as I scroll through, you'll see owner developer. There's also the GC is listed, design firm, planning notes, construction's underway. It's kind of letting you know some information about the history of what's happening with this project, what's involved. Again, this is Bordentown Warehouse. And here's another one in Camden, $90 million project. This has been out since August of 2022. Michael's organization is the developer. They're also acting as the contractor on this project. But each one of these will have a list of, the contract will be laid out. And so again, a lot of people think, hey, is it too late to get involved when the GC's been awarded? No, because sometimes they're still getting their approval, so it's always worthwhile to take a look at these. And again, you can see site construction will be on here as well. Okay. So that is kind of a review of I just want to jump to some private and public work to let you see what's out there right now. You can also, this is what I was going to later, the tracking buckets. So this is tracking contractors and projects. This will be really important on our site too. So tracking projects, or tracking contractors rather, is one of everyone's favorite things to do. They like to make sure they're tracking their competitors or tracking a GC they bid to. So I'm tracking 9 companies, and this company's placed a low bid since I last looked at them. These guys I'm tracking, but nothing's happened. And I can see this guy's picked up a set of plans. So if I come over to Aurora Environmental, I can go to other bids because they weren't a low bidder. And I can see on 1024, they bid this, but they didn't get it. And then I can click down to see the Ambient Group is the one who actually did get this project. And I can kind of get that information and go from there. Now, once I come back here, it's going to tell me I have 2 updates instead of 3. They're still on there. The Aurora Environmental is still on there, but the changes have, it's only notifying me there's 2 updates. Now with projects, tracking 29 projects, there's 2 up here that have had an update. They're out to bid projects that have had an update. Most likely someone's picked up plans or there's an addendum was released, because anything could cause an update. A bid result, award, addendum, one guy picking up plans, cost estimate was released, description, anything can cause an update. So, and you can keep notes in here too. So you can say the project was too small, too big. You can, on the contractor side, you can put notes in there where you can, have a contact person's name or any kind of information you might need to keep handy for yourself. Okay, I have like 1 to 2 minutes left. So I just wanted to do a quick kind of recap. So this is not meant to see every project today. This is just meant if you're unfamiliar, like, hey, what is this local company about? Let me take a look. The bottom line after today is if I piqued your interest in the slightest, I'd ask you to just reach out and give me a call. You've probably gotten 50 emails from me at this point, but so you should have my contact information. If not, it is up here on the screen too. There we go. Feel free to give me a call, and I'm happy to do a one-on-one for your particular company. We can really find the projects that are perfect for you. But the nice thing about CIS, we're local, family owned. It's literally hunting stuff down every single day with updates, real-time project information, and a very simple to use site. You can get your information and get out and do your work and not spend all day on the computer and making reports and doing anything like that. So that about wraps it up. I'm totally on my 20 minutes that I promised. So thank you so much for spending 20 minutes with me in your morning today on November 1st. And again, if you want to take a further look, I'm happy to do a one-on-one with you so you can see if we make sense for your company. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.